Dear my respectful viewer of Islamic Iman TV, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. You know, as usual, I am here every Friday at 6 o'clock evening, and at the same time I will be your guest in your home with a new information, and I hope it benefited for you. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي صدق الله العظيم. They're my brother and sister in Islam, that when I bring some information for you, just I need from you to make a dua for me, because each of my subject, it is new almost, because also you cannot see it from somebody else, you cannot hear from somebody to talk about it. So anyway, this subject today is the translation from the last week, which I talked about it. The name was Tars, and the translation of that Tars is in English fear, that you see in your left side on my board. Mention there is I wrote already, that is name of fear, if you can see it. What is fear and how we deal with the fear? Fear is something, emotional feeling in the mind of all human beings, and everyone will afraid from unusual expectation action, physically and naturally. The word of fear is in English vocabulary can be used or called as apprehensions, panic, horror, trepidation, consternation, unease, nervous, and anxiety or phobia or something. Fear usually is unpleasant, but generally is unpleasant. Nobody like it, with pain and grief. But it is natural to respond to a real dangerous, because it is bad effect. It has a bad effect on the character of human life. And fear is an emotional feeling, and usually occurs without external threat. In addition, fear relates to the specific avoidance behaviors, while anxiety will result from threats that are considered unmanageable and unavoidable. Fear is usually associated with the pain and grief, but question is how we can we can realize it. How? So the fear is the fear, but how we can realize it or find them? The answer would be if a person stands on a peak of wall or in the top of wall, or in the corner of the high corner of the roof of the house, and then there is no any ladder with it to get down, but the person stand there. When he think that there is no ladder to come down, and suddenly he feels fear, and that is the realization of the fear. Is just a feeling of someone. If we say that when he sit down on the ground, that he will say, "Oh, I cannot. I'll be, I'll be die, or I'll be, definitely I can become injury." So that is the one. Fear is a mechanism for survival and unusual occur in response to a specific negative stimulus. Fear, apprehensions, panic, nervous, or any of its synonyms. Words call it in Farsi language tars, which last week I explained about it, which is an ancient name in the languages of Farsi, like Afghani, Iranian, Tajikian, and West, and mostly south part of Asian, and also in Middle East, some places, because this word, the tars, is a very old or ancient name. As fear can be defined in two ways. One is in ordinary unexpected or phobia. The other one is deadly or dangerous with expectation in feeling. The distinguish between both of them are expect to action and non-expect to action, between phobia and fear. Even both of them is fearing. However, fear and phobia both brings out panic, griefs, and sorrow, which result anxiety, depression, and stress. That a lot of people is involved in that today. According to the medical general information about the anxiety, saying anxiety is caused by reaction in the central nervous system that we can unable to control it. This response is an alert system that is used when a central nervous system or brain is threatened. The dangers doesn't always have to be real. When the brain sends signal that the body is at risk of dying, the body responds, which is what you know as anxiety. Also, the sensitivity of the alert system varies from person to person and can carry through all life. Having more anxiety during young age is not uncommon until the age goes up, become older. Adversity also affects the sensitivity to anxiety. Anxiety is a disease, you know that, which a lot of people have involved in it. The question is how we get the anxiety. Anxiety is the result of the phobia. That there are many examples that we can attach on it. First, phobia are fears that are not broadly equivalent with the real dangers of the situation. They are typically beyond the control of the will of person, and they avoid the scary situation. In fact, phobia are unexpected, unnatural fears that result from a nervous and mental association, such as a person who is afraid of flying because a flight has previously been unintentional, with the future accidents that results in the emergence of a type of mental neurotic or a neurotic association. So when the person want to fly or want to get in the plane, he get frightened quickly because of that he has, his mind has already programmed that flight means death to me. Or some he saw in the TV or somewhere that is the plane was get down and burned and is fired. So and that the person is afraid. That's the phobia also. Also, one another factor caused anxiety is sadness and griefs and sorrow. For what? For returning something that he gave to somebody. He is waiting for, but he expecting that somebody bring him to him back, and but he did not receive, and that was he thinking about. What happened? I helped somebody, they are not tell me even thank you. And for that there is a lot of example, but inshallah after the one break I gave you all those example that how the person become the stress or depression and anxiety. Just stay with me.